Alrighty, welcome back. So I've been doing a little bit of picking away at the truck here today and show you what we got going on. I know it doesn't look like it's changed much, but it will. So I've been hauling down parts from the shed here in preparation so we can get going here again. So I brought down the wiper motors, wiper linkages, different wiring and stuff I have, because what I would like to do here is I'm going to take and paint inside the wiper cowl black again. And then what we'll do is I'm going to test the wiper motors, figure out which one is the better of the two. It can get put on the truck. I'm going to take the better of the two wiper linkages. It'll get media blasted and we'll paint it. And then we're going to work on assembling basically everything that's on the firewall remaining here. So wire harness, all that stuff. Because once that's done, we can put our inner fenders in here. And then we'll start working on the bodywork for the cab of the truck. So we can go ahead and get it painted. So what I've done here is I've dug out the heater box parts that I have for this truck. The ones with the little blue K on them are the ones I got from the 88 that was in the wreckers. So this is the heater box out of the 88. This is my original 87 heater box. I'm probably going to use the 88 box as my basis because none of the studs on that one broke off. Compared to mine where only one of them didn't break off. So we'll go through, I'm going to disassemble them and we'll see what parts we're going to mix and match. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of little stuff I'm going to want to get blasted so it's nice and clean. And obviously I'm going to scrub the box out so it's nice and clean so it doesn't stink like mice, because they both do. And we're going to do the same thing with the ducting and everything here, which as you can see we're probably going to use one from the 88 because the mice ate a hole in this one. So fun and games, folks, fun and games. Okay, so with them flipped over, you can see this one's already coming apart, and that's pretty simple because someone's already been in here. So it's missing a bunch of screws. There's only 2 screws on it actually, whereas you can see on this one there's a screw there, and there's one there, and there's 2 back here. And then we come around the back side here, there's one here, another one here. So I'm going to take out the one remaining screw from this, and then we'll get into the actual inside of the box. Okay, so with the cover removed, you're looking at the heater core. Now, what I found interesting is this truck had a brand new heater core in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one and we're going to flush it out, and that's the one we'll use. Now, the heater core is retained by just normally 2 straps. There's only one on this one, but there's normally another one down this end as well. You can see it's MIA. So we'll take the one out of this heater box here and use it on this. So what I'll do is I will remove that strap from this end, and we'll take the heater core out. So with that strap removed, our heater core just lifts right out. And as I mentioned, this one is actually a new heater core. So, oops, there we go. So like I said, we'll give this sucker a good wash. And I think this will be the one we use. With it removed, you can see that there's not much to this portion of the heater box. So what I'm going to do is I'll take the cable off, and we'll go ahead and wash all this out and off because it's pretty gross, like they usually are. And we're going to replace all this foam and stuff on it. Okay, so to remove the cable, you take off this push clip, right? The camera does not want to focus on it. And with that removed, you can just slide this piece up here. I apologize, I'm trying to do this with one hand, so it's not as easy. So you slide it up anyway. And then you're going to take, I usually use a pair of needle nose, and you squeeze both sides of that clip, and then it just pops through. So I'll do that and we'll get this off here. All right, I want to show you this. Even though we're not using these ones, see all that? That's all mouse crap. All of that. Which I guarantee you, no matter how much I scrubbed, that would probably still stink like mouse crap every time it got hot. And that's why we're not using this one. Well, part of it anyway. Okay, I got busy this morning and I washed all this stuff out. So it's all reasonably clean now. So the one thing I am going to do is I'm going to take and just paint all the metal parts just so they stay decent. And so to do that, we can go ahead and start reassembling everything. I'll have to source some of the foam stuff though, to be able to replace what's on here, like this insulation type stuff they put on here. So I have to do that. I did that, and I took and I flushed out the heater cores. Like I said, this is the replacement one we're going to use. So I gave it a good wash and flushed it, which quite simply put, high pressure hot water in through the one inlet, and I just let it run until it ran clear out of the other outlet. So did that with both. So I'll either keep that other one for a spare or we'll get rid of it. I got washed up all the wiper motor stuff, so I'll go ahead and we'll test the wiper motors and we'll figure out which linkage we're going to use. Which I got both linkages over here, which also got a wash. So we got a whole bunch of little stuff to do. Okay, with everything clean, in reality, we're not doing anything spectacular here. We're just going to go ahead and reassemble it. So that's what I've been doing. I took and I painted a few things on here, like I said, just to seal up the rust. And that's our heater box reinstalled. You'll see these little straps are what actually retains it into the heater box. So I'll go ahead and I'll put that front cover on the outside now. Okie dokie, so that is everything reassembled. I'm going to take a little lacquer thinner and just take off the paint pen mark from the junkyard. Ordered new push nuts, well, a package of them anyway. I gotta go pick them up at Napa tomorrow. I can put them on there. I gotta go and get some weather stripping tape, foam stuff to replace what's on here, because I want to replace this and this one. And then everything here is pretty much finished. So the screws that hold this bottom duct piece on, GM's got this thing about weird fasteners. So these are not a 4mm, they're not a 4.5mm, instead they are a 4.2mm. Yeah, I know, weird, right? But that's what GM runs, and that's what we replaced it with. So here's one of our next projects. The wiper linkage, which at this point you can see I've just painted. So kind of interesting, but in 82 they used a slightly different system, right? So you can see it just has a metal retaining clip. Now right here I'll show you the 87 setup. So the 87 uses these rubber plasticky whatever, like ball sockets. So what I find interesting about it, however, is, so this one's an 87 wiper motor, this one's an 82 wiper motor, and you'll see the actual ball socket itself is exactly the same. So to me, what we're looking at here is a case of bean counters at GM deciding that they could probably make that little clip a lot cheaper out of some type of plastic than it was to make it out of metal. Because this being a first year S10 component compared to that one being a, you know, middle of the run kind of thing. So anyway, and yes, I am going to paint the bottom of that so it's nice and clean again too. So on the agenda, which is why the manual's out, I'm going to test both wiper motors and see which one works better. Whichever one works better, I'll finish cleaning up and install on the truck. Okay, so we are working on our heater box. Said I popped those clips on, and what I've done is I picked up some Camper Seal foam tape, which well, I'll open it and I'll show you, and you'll see it's what we need, right? Okay, so this is what we're working with. So obviously it's got one side that's adhesive, and that's just got the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and scrape all that old crap off. We'll apply the new stuff, and yeah, we'll move from there. Alright, so there's the foam put on. I know what you're thinking. Not the prettiest in the world, but you know what? No one's going to see it. As long as it seals against the firewall, I don't give a crap. I had to double layer it, but it does fit properly. That duct goes on, and it's nice and tight now. So I'll test fit it on the firewall, make sure there's nothing else I have to put on there first, and then we can start assembling things. Alrighty, so the center section back in here, which these things are a bugger to put in, I forgot. I ended up having to loosen off the brake pedals and then loosen off the steering column so I can get it to fit. With it installed, however, we can go ahead and put the other half of the heater box in. Now the only thing is, you do have to put in the heater box harness first. So I've done that because it goes in, not sure if you can see, but it goes down in behind here. And then that little clip that was there, that's what it's for. Oops, sorry. So we'll put the other half in now. Okay, so with that shoved in there, you can kind of see how everything fits here now, right? We come around the front here. See where I've put a bit of sealer in there. So the next thing we had to do is put the heater box cover on. So I've been working on the heater box cover, same thing. I'm applying some foam sealer to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here obviously and trim all this out. We'll apply a bit of black silicone sealer just to fill any gaps and stuff, and then we can put it on the truck. Alrighty, so before we go ahead and well, even think about doing anything with this motor, we're going to make sure it's good first. And it is. So now that we've tested it, we know it's good, which it was a replacement anyway. So I was pretty sure it was a good one. I'll take it and I'll clean it up and give it a coat of paint, and then it can get installed in the heater box, which I have been, as you can see, working on. I've got all this stuff back in again. And I've been working on putting all the harness back in where it lives, and this cover and everything. And what I'm going to do is across the top here where it's kind of ugly, I'm going to get some black sealer tomorrow when everything's open again, and just run a little bead of sealer around it. So with that done, that's pretty much the whole heater box and HVAC system put back in the truck. This week I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and get the wire harness back in the dash, well, where the dash belongs, and I'm also going to go ahead and put the wiper stuff back together, and we'll get it working as well. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we see you back again.